For 20 years, our house has experienced a lot.
He's back! Are you kidding me?
Triumph, defeat, heartbreak, euphoria. It's been home to legends, and legends in the making. We've watched homegrown kids grow up here and welcomed friends who became family.
The ballpark is in a frenzy.
Like our fans, this place has developed a reputation. And that's just the way we like it. In a city bursting at the seams with history, our house has had its fair share.
Howling drive, way out of here. Grand slam, Victorino. The Philadelphia Phillies are going to the World Series.
But it's not time to harp on history.
It's time to make more history.
He's going to just watch it go.
Our team story is not done.
Never say die, Tom.
It's barely been written.
Something's brewing with this team, John.
We're here for the long haul and the long ball.
That one is going to be long gone.
It's been a fun 2 decades,
Son of a gun, I love this place.
but this is the only looking back we're doing
With a rainmaker.
because we're tired of knocking on the door. It's time to kick it down.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sorry in Advance, where we can officially welcome Ryan back. Loving the Kelly Green. This is the first time you're back, like since the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Around then,
Whew, wow, it's been around that time, yeah.
it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been around that time.
For an update, the Phillies are now losing 3-2. I know it happened like 20 minutes ago, but
And then it was just a double play.
I know instead of JT, JT was still involved with the double play, so that still counts.
Yeah.
You know what's hilarious is, I'm watching it on Hulu Live, and as you just said that, it happened immediately after. So
Sorry, I'm literally like watching MLB just like the game day screen where it's just like a picture and just says what's happening, and half the time like I'm ahead of Scott's TV.
I got Hulu Live too, so
yeah, same boat. Okay.
So needless to say, it has been an interesting last 10, 11 days for the Phillies. And interesting is being polite about it because it has been just downright miserable.
dreadful.
Between the games played, how they've been played, how they've lost, the lack of offense, the injuries, it's just like, hey, when can it end? And then they decide to, and watch, I got rid of it. I'm an idiot. I got rid of the thing. But anyway, the news today with Aaron Nola randomly having a stress something in his rib that he just woke up with. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, what a Philly injury to have. You just wake up while you're out with an ankle sprain that's not healing, and then you wake up with something done to your rib. Like,
Made a comment earlier I won't repeat, but he stinks. He's not really doing that.
Unfortunately, he's here for 6 more years.
I know. Well, see, that's what I said to you before. It's Castellanos' good year. So now next year it'll be Aaron Nola's good year because they just swap back and forth. So I've just accepted that's life right now with them. Castellanos probably shorter, obviously, than Nola. But anyway, so yeah, in the last 10 games, the Phillies are 2-8 to the Pirates, the Brewers, the Blue Jays, and thank God they won last night, which to me immediately, I'm like, they ain't winning this game. I'm not even gonna lie. There was no chance I thought they were winning that game.
It just looked like it took like way too much effort to win that game in extra innings. I mean, they had to win on bunts and all kinds of nonsense.
Oh, you mean baseball plays? They had to win on playing baseball?
We're not used to
Baseball
seeing
in
that.
general.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking back. I mean, that Brewers series was atrocious.
That was
Beginning to
terrible.
end. It just, there was nothing good about it.
The Cubs are. I mean, they're a great team. I mean, so like finding a way to win in baseball is always, it's never easy. But to that game. But when you're going to the Pirates and the Brewers, and those are series that you can't lose those series when you're supposed to be a playoff contending team.
And it's not even like I'm not even saying the Brewers aren't good.
No, they're good. We should be so much better.
Yeah, there's no reason you should have given up 2 home runs to Rhys Hoskins, and those were his only hits in the whole entire series.
The only game we should have, you can be okay with losing is when we face Skeens. I mean, Sanchez had a great game against them.
But even then, though, I mean, they only put up 1 run. I mean,
well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you have Skeens, who's as good as he is. I mean, I'd be okay with the mulligan against Skeens.
Yeah.
But, that's it.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I don't know which series was worse, the Pirates one or the Brewers one. Like, I think the Brewers series by far. Me personally, I think that was the worst series of the season.
Brewers. I mean, the thing with the Pirates is they're not a good team, but they're not a terrible team. But we should win a series.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you know what though? It's as expected though, because they always play bad in Pittsburgh for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, between that whole entire series, and I completely agree with both of you. The Skeens one, fine, I get it, especially losing 2-1.
Right. Like, that's kind of mulligan, like all good.
Yeah, the one before where again you lost 2-1, and your only run was in the first inning on a Schwarber home run. It's just I joke about that Kyle is king of June when he hits home runs, but you can't rely on that. Like and I'm not relying on Bryce Harper as going to be the end all be all of the offense.
And we're definitely not going to rely on Brandon Marsh with walk-offs either. So
no, I didn't know that we were going to need to go to the 11th with bases loaded. Like, how often do we get to that point? Especially because
they scored
in the 10th, like when it was they had first and second, and then immediately hit a ground ball to the third baseman. He tags third and throws whoever it was out at first. I'm like, cool, 2 outs, man on second. We're right where we left off, and it's just like it was becoming such a pattern that it's just like anytime you go into extra innings, I hate to say it, like I'm not expecting to walk out of there with a win, whether we're home or not. I mean, last night, clearly when they went down 3-2 in the 11th, it was just like,
here we go again.
Because it's getting hard to rely on. I mean, JT Realmuto, like he's just a double play machine, and I'm not expecting him much out of him anymore. And it's just, I hate to go back to like the conversation, Scott, you and I have had multiple times where like, is the window closed? And I'm like, when you see all this stuff happening so quick, like Harper's injury, Aaron Nola's injury, and then freak injury, and then it's I don't know, man. It's just to tie into it, why would Schwarber want to sign here if they're getting worse?
My whole thing is though too, like the Bryce Harper injury. Apparently, he's been dealing with it for a while. So like, why make it worse?
And I think that's one thing that really just pisses me off so bad is he's saying it's the same exact thing he had last year. Okay, well, if you knew if it's starting to feel the same way as last year, you need to say something. Everyone was perfectly fine when JT went out last year to get his surgery because they said he'd be back in like a month. And everyone's just like, yeah, if you're not able to perform to the best of your ability, then go get the surgery if it's going to help you play better in the long run of the rest of the season. So in the same aspect, I'm glad they're doing it now with Harper. But for him coming out and saying, yeah, it's been bothering him the last few weeks, I'm just like, well, yeah, I can kind of tell now because you haven't been performing like Bryce Harper at all.
Well, the thing that concerns me too with that injury is the fact that he was already out when he got hit by the pitch for like 6 games, I think it was.
Yeah.
Was it 6?
Yeah,
like,
and like that, yeah.
You would think like
the whole Pirate series.
Yeah, you would. Well, didn't he? Did he play in the A series?
I don't even remember, to be honest.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, he had some time off, and you would think like that would maybe like help him with the pain or whatnot, and apparently it hasn't. So that kind of worries me.
Well, what scares me about it more is they're saying they're not even in like the planning stage yet. So they're waiting for this inflammation, anything that's going on with it to go down.
It sounds like sounds like a lose-lose situation. It's either it
Yeah.
doesn't really go down and he's not 100%, or he gets the surgery and it's not.
And he's out
You know,
5
it's
months.
not as I was going to say. It's not as quick turnaround as you'd want it to be as a surgery recovery.
Yeah, that's why to me, I'm just like, I'm not trying to like be a naysayer and be negative about it, but I'm like, I'm half expecting him to be out past the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Because if you're not even able to tell really how bad it is, or you're waiting for it to just, you're not even in, like they're saying, the planning stage. I'm always saying that because that's what I saw. It's just like, damn, dude, like if you haven't played and then you went on the IL, and I'm like, yeah, I even saw it. Like he was there, obviously in Pittsburgh, and he was in the outfield taking fly balls, and I'm like, no, get the hell out of the outfield, man. Go sit down. I don't need like a freak injury, something like what was it, Freddie Garcia when we had him that one year, and he
he was shagging
ran
fly
into the
balls.
car. Yeah, he ran into the cart, and I was like, oh, that was it. That was the end of his year. Like, I don't need that. I don't need nothing like that.
It just feels like a plague's over our head with this, you know, with what's going on, and you know the injuries and our guys that. Not that we ever said, hey, we're relying on these guys, but like we have to now, and we definitely can't.
Yeah, and it's Topper coming out too, talking about how, you know, he's going to start shaking things up and this and that. And I'm like,
where was this at? Where's this been at? Like the whole shaking up thing, dude. I'm sorry, like to get in between what you're saying, but this has actually really been bothering me. Topper, first of all, Topper's post game interviews.
They
grind my gears so much.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing every time. It's him saying, "Oh, he looks great," you know, blah blah blah. Walker, you know, back when he was like really doing terrible, you know, it's just like, oh yeah, you know, he's just got to find his groove. It's like, dude, like we're 10 games into him playing pitching. What are we talking about? And like it's the same thing for everyone. It's like, oh, you know, Bohm's got some good swings, and you know, Stott is having good at bats, and what are we talking about?
I'm not saying bash your own players, but
no, accountability though. Accountability.
Well, he does have accountability for some players like Johan Rojas. I mean, he did have some accountability with Trey Turner with that error though. I think it was like 2 weeks ago.
One time.
But I mean,
I enjoy when they ask him about Kevin Long. One of these times I just want him to say, yeah, he sucks as a hitting instructor.
Well, it's getting to the point where I'm like, don't piss in my ear and tell me it's rain, dude. Like, come on.
To that point, though, I mean, a hitting instructor in the MLB is about as useless as a lifeguard in a swimming Olympic pool.
To
some degree. I mean,
I said the same thing I forget if I said it in our group chat or the other group chat I'm in. I'm like, it's literally at the point where a hitting coach is the most useless job because they don't do anything. Like, I don't know if you guys watched the Clubhouse, the Red Sox one.
I have.
It was actually really cool.
It was good.
They basically go all off of video and analytics, and I'm just like, cool. So they're DVRing all this stuff pretty much. I'm like, I can go on MLB and find the same exact clips you're looking at. Yep. What are you paid for? If that's the case, give me a few $1 million and I'll sit there and record everything for you. It is the dumbest job. Because especially when I told you, I've said this like 30 times already. When Kevin Long, I heard him on MLB saying he doesn't go up to the players, you know, until they really ask me for help. I'm like, you're the friggin' hitting coach. You were supposed to be the knowledgeable one to see these things. They're basically saying that hitting coaches, it was, you know, the clip I saw was Whit Merrifield. I don't know if you guys saw it. Him talking about his time here. And he wasn't bashing Kevin Long because he couldn't, because Whit Merrifield was terrible when he was here. But it was him basically saying, like, you know, he can't get any blame because guys do their own thing. And I'm like, then what is he here for?
Right.
I don't understand the point of a hitting coach then, because you're supposed to be the knowledgeable and you're the hitting coach. And if a team isn't hitting, I can't fire the player. So I don't understand the point of your job.
Well, we talked about it the last 2 years for the playoffs.
Evening, Don.
What's up, Donna? Like they listen to him to some extent, and then they go back to their old habits and they just tune him out. That's what
He's the one who just came out and said that he's not saying anything to him. So really, what are they not listening to him? They're the ones saying that they have their own guys that they work with. Okay, well then they should be fired too, and the players should see that. Like the main thing, and I said I was gonna. Ryan, you weren't on yet, but I wanted to show this, and it's a shame because can you see my screen?
No.
No, I'm not. Maybe if I added it, it would work.
There you go.
See this? So this was in Toronto, and you're not going to be able to hear what the guy says, and I can't, but I'll basically say it. So here's Brandon Marsh's at bat. 1 out, 2-0. And I'm literally really what the guy says. It's a 2-0 count. If I'm Brandon Marsh, there's no chance I'm swinging. Okay? So 3-0. There is nobody on the team I want swinging 3-0. All right. Naturally, there's going to be a fastball strike. I'm not telling him to swing. But on here, a 3-1 count is normally probably going to be a fastball. To this team, you could throw anything. It is a fastball down the middle.
And he still fouled it back.
That should be crushed to right field.
Yep.
Or worst case, if you're late on it, hit the ball hard, make them make a play.
And now the pitcher's back in control.
And then this is what pisses me off the most about this team and baseball in general, is this next pitch right here. It is a fastball. It's a strike.
Yeah,
it's a strike. And so what that's all right. So what annoys me the most about that is in baseball, there's no plate protection anymore. It's either you stand there or you complain to the umpire. And I'm like, it is a basic little league rule that you are taught. Protect the plate with 2 strikes. No matter what, you have to protect the plate. These guys just stand there and it's a fastball that's even remotely close. Swing the bat.
And they'll lose their minds yelling at the umpire on a ball that was, 2 inches off the plate.
Right.
And it's like
that should be
not, I agree, dude. And we talked about this way back, months ago.
I agree, Mom. That coach don't exist no more.
Nah. But we talked about how they need to get rid of the strike zone box on the TV.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Now, granted, that's for the fan. That's not for the player. But, that'll help too. But, how do you have 2 strikes on you and the ball is only 2 inches off the plate and you have the nerve to argue that? That's not a you are at this level and you are entitled to have the strike zone as it is. You clearly know that that's not the case.
Right.
So fight it off. I have a drill as a coach, and you remember when you played, you had a drill as a player and as a coach where you have an 0-2 drill or 1-2 drill. And it's it's so 101 that you are looking to fight the ball off and protect the plate.
The crazy thing is, though, like that pitch right there, he shouldn't have to fight that off. He should be able to put that in play.
Right.
Oh, sure. Sure. But
they will throw a curveball 6 feet in front of the plate.
Oh, they
sure as hell swing at it.
Yeah, they do.
And I'm just like, dude,
well, here's our guy now.
Yeah, he's up right now.
What's the count?
1-2.
1-2.
We have 1-2. He might have struck out on your end, Sean.
I think he got a double. Brandon Marsh got a double.
Wow.
Yeah. Here we go.
This is probably faster than FanDuel too. FanDuel's probably a minute and a half behind.
I'll let you know when he hits the double. Not speaking of. So Scott brought something up to me. Scott, do you want to bring it up?
What? I think I played against you in senior league when you played for Defford because I played for Woodbury Heights.
Okay, yeah, probably.
Yeah. I was just because I seen one of your memories on Facebook. I don't know why it popped up, and I didn't know that you were friends with one of the guys that I know on there, Joey Finnegan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny. I think I don't know if it was the same game or if you're on that team. We had a bench clearing brawl.
So no, you're actually a couple years younger than me then, Scott, right?
Yeah.
You're 33, 32.
I'll be 32. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was actually a young coach at that time.
Okay.
It was at Union Field.
Yeah.
And they had to call the cops waiting for in the parking lot. We were actually I was just talking about this too. Do you know Janoski?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
He plays on my softball team for Shalene's.
Yeah.
We were just talking about old times, and I was like, "You remember this? Remember that?" And it was literally this past Sunday we were talking about it. That exact game that you're talking about.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's funny.
He texted me the other day, and he was like, "Dude, I think me and Ryan might have almost fought."
I mean, so I was a young coach. So I was ready to fight right along with the kids. So. It was you had these, the players in the stands just yelling,
Dude, it was insane. It was literally insane.
And then we're playing and we're trying to win, and it does work. It does work. I think we still won the game that we needed, but we had to let them not score so many runs to advance. It was some like weird.
There was they used to have like that weird rule. I don't know if they still have it.
It's still there. Yeah, it's so many. It's runs let up in the defensive innings divided by defensive innings or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, it's first and third with nobody out. By the way,
sounds like the Philly league, the Philly softball league I played in. You could only score 7 runs an inning, and I'm just like, like on the team we were on, we were like, oh my god, thank God, man, because we'd be here all night. I remember one team had like this 7-year-old woman pitching, and she was throwing it flat, and I'm like, yo, this woman is gonna die, like from a line drive. You need to get her out of there. Like it was terrible.
Speaking of softball, I remember when we went to watch you play the one game. We drove you, and we were there for about 5 hours, and it was 100 degrees.
When I umpired?
Yeah, it was a while. We just finished the Fasola League, and then you had another game.
We had a double header. Wait, to play or umpire?
No, to play. You were playing in the outfield. I remember because me, Derek, and Joanne.
Oh yeah, oh my god, yeah. I had another double header to play, and they taunted me so bad, dude. I didn't get one hit. I was so mad. They were taunting the shit out of me. I was getting so mad.
Also, shout out to Shalene Softball in case they're out there.
Absolutely.
We play Nippers soon. That's a Defford versus Defford brawl right there.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I won't be there though. I'll be in Aruba. Oh no!
He said Rangers can't even get 7 runs a series.
More than the Phillies.
I can tell by your reaction, but right now it's 1-1 on our end.
Yeah.
1-2. Sorry. Anyway. Anyway, so what was the other thing? We was the Harper injury. It was the Nola injury. It just seems like
that's an addition by subtraction.
It really is because and that's the thing too, is of course in my fantasy baseball league I picked up Mick Abel, and I'm like, well, since I picked him up in typical fashion, he hasn't been like as good. No. I'm good
for this year.
Yeah. I was just trying to pick somebody up, and I'm trying to think like now. See, Scott, now I can't remember if Harper played at all.
I don't think he did. When did he get hit by that pitch? It
was before that.
Strider. Yeah, so he was off for a while. He was out for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, because the Brave series was right before the A's.
Yeah,
before the A's. It was before the Rockies and the A's, right?
It was. Why is nothing working now?
Because I was gonna say he missed a good amount of games. I think he just missed enough just to miss the IL.
Oh, that didn't do anything.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like you would have thought that like him resting, that injury would have gotten better.
Oh no, he got hit after the A series.
It was after?
Yeah. Because we went from
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because they were on the win streak.
I feel like that's the thing too, is if you got hit in the elbow and they gave you a few days off and you're already having this wrist problem, why not just
tell them?
Just do it then. If you were already going to sit for 5 games, I'm like, all right, that's half of a 10-day IL. Granted, he finding out now, but you don't know what he did, if he maybe tweaked something and made it worse coming back to this, coming back from that for the wrist injury.
And he swings. Jesus.
Was it in the dirt?
No, it was a high fastball.
Well, Colin Ray does have that.
He tried to hold it.
He did.
Well, did you see Pete Crow Armstrong, I think, when he didn't think he swung earlier?
No, this game?
It was like the first.
I think I missed that.
Around.
Anyway, so who's up now? Boom?
Yeah, but he can't ground into a double play because it's second and third.
Well, they're changing.
Thank God. That's another one, too. I called that the other day on Sunday.
With Bohm?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like him and Real Muto, you could literally throw them anything breaking inside. They're going to swing and just ground to the third base.
Yep. And that goes to whatever Kevin Long's doing.
I saw the stat the other day that JT only has 2 hits this whole year against left-handed pitching.
Which you would think doesn't make any sense.
Because he would have an advantage?
Well, yeah, you would think.
Like,
I just feel like it's the trade deadline was, I guess, the biggest topic I kind of wanted to talk about because I know it's a month and a half away ish, but really like this is probably going to be the most interesting trade deadline we've seen in a while because
sell.
I like serious, dude. They really might not have a choice. I mean, right now I don't even know. I know they're obviously 4.5 games. I think
they're in a wild card spot.
That's all friggin' well and good. If you do not have faith in a team, like everything is that I'm reading is just like, oh, the Phillies, the Seattle Mariners, and somebody else are going to be probably some of the heaviest buyers. And I'm like, well, right now, I don't see why. Like, we're first place in the wild card. Fine. But there are plenty of teams that are, let's see, the Cardinals are 1.5 games out from the final spot. The other 2/3 of the West are in the second and third wild card already. You have the Reds 4 games back, the Brewers. The Diamondbacks, I think,
they always wake up.
They always wake up in the second half. They're a second half team. The Braves are finding ways to lose. Which
I think they're done.
I'm not.
They're never done.
They'll go on a tear.
Yeah, they're never done. You know what though? They say that about us too, I'm sure. We just see it differently because it's our team.
Yeah,
that is true.
I'm not watching their games every day, but it's like looking at it. What moves do you make?
As bad as we have been in these last. Sorry.
No. You're fine. Do your thing. You're good.
Am I lagging?
No, you're good.
No, I was saying in the last like dozen games or whatever. I mean, as bad as we've been, I mean, we're right there. So
I agree.
It's tough.
It's just like Alec Boehm single.
Boom. Yep.
I mean, this is a series. This is a series to win and show some life.
I totally agree.
I agree, and they're a 500 team, the Cubs, so we can stop hearing about that now.
Don't play the Pirates, though. We don't want to face the Pirates.
Well, it's a good thing they're not a playoff team, and never will be as long as Paul Skeens is alive. So, I keep saying stuff like, teams are going to go after him, but I'm just like, they really should just get it out of the way. Stop torturing your own fan base and just trade him.
Dude, you know where he's going? He's going to the Yankees.
Who's that?
He's going to
Paul Skeens.
Skeens.
Going right to the Yankees.
But it's just like looking. I mean, my friend Jay and I were talking about like trade packages and stuff like that. And I know, Scott, you and I talked about it last week where I said, like, would you trade Abel? Would you trade Boehm? And I'm like, you have to see what Otto Kemp can do, and you're going to get that time now that Harper's going to be out a while.
Yep.
Which is interesting because I really thought they would give Sosa maybe more of a chance, but maybe they're waking up and realizing, hey, we keep a lot of our kids down way too long.
Yeah.
I mean, you lost 2-3 years probably of Utley and Howard when it happened before.
Yep.
So I really wonder, like, I think this is going to be such an incredible and very important trade deadline because what position do you really go after? Because I think people are really, I think they're
getting restless
so far.
They're getting restless, like especially with Dombrowski. I mean, Dombrowski the last couple deadlines, all he's been doing is putting Band-Aids on wounds. I mean, he hasn't really made that big deal that he's so accustomed to making.
Right. But, I mean, at the same time, you need too many bullpen moves right now to fix this bullpen.
There's a guy in Boston that throws 105 miles an hour, and he's a lefty. And it makes way too much sense for them not to go after him. I don't know what is going on.
And he's 45 years old. Between that, I mean, you need outfield help. Kepler clearly isn't the answer, even though he had a home run today.
Julio Rodriguez.
God, could you imagine?
You're giving.
That's going to be Painter, Miller.
Yeah, that's the whole form.
There it is.
I mean,
yeah, but I don't know.
You would do it,
Mason Miller. I know you want him, Scott.
I do.
Or we all want him, but I mean, you realistically think that there's a chance?
I do think there's a chance. I mean, they need top of the line bullpen help.
Who can you realistically think we can get rid of that the A's would be like, yeah, that makes sense?
That's the problem, though. I don't think I would. I don't want to empty the farm for a reliever because you need an outfielder.
You want to do MLB The Show, force trades.
Yeah. No, but you need
give up Scott Kingery 3 years ago for Mason Miller.
I just think like with the flaws that the Phillies have, like you need an outfield. You need a legitimate starting left fielder or center fielder, whatever. And you just need a top of the line bullpen piece. And like I said, like I don't know how much it would take to get Chapman.
I think it all depends. You're going to have to see where the Red Sox are, too.
He's 37 years old. And, I mean, the Red Sox are not where are the Red Sox at right now?
I mean, they're 4.5 out of a wild card, but they're 4.5 out of the division. Like, the Rays and Blue Jays are half a game behind the Yankees for the division. And Baltimore is 8.5 games out. Like, that's a lot of time for the Red Sox. And the Red Sox, everyone thought, I mean, you picked them to go to the World Series.
I did.
I really thought they were going to be a lot better, but they still could pick it up.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I would love Mason Miller. I don't know if I would give up.
I would love Mason Miller too.
I don't think I don't know if I would give up all that though, because they're going to be asking for a lot. Wow, but the Julio Rodriguez, that would be insane. That would be crazy.
I feel like we don't have the tools to make that offer.
No.
That would make sense for us, I mean. But Mason Miller, I mean, you know, if you really do a deep dive, like we probably could make that work somehow. Like you do Crawford and like it's gotta be those guys, Crawford, Painter, or McAble.
But then what do you do with the outfield? Like you gotta get unless you just wait until free agency.
Who's that dude that just made that crazy catch yesterday?
Oh, Carter. Is it Carter on the A's?
Like on the A's, yeah.
I mean, I'll admit that I don't know the name. I just saw it on SportsCenter, but he made a spectacular catch, swooping up the ball from behind the fence. Let's get him and Mason Miller. We'll give them either Mick or Andrew Painter and Crawford.
That's you know what? That's not crazy. With how much Dombrowski and the Phillies have propped up Johan Rojas, everybody should want him. So you include him in the trade because they clearly see something that none of the other 30-something teams see. Right. So if they can convince the other teams to do that, my thing is like if you look at it reminds me of the Luis Arias trade. Like nobody saw that coming, let alone at the beginning of May last year. But granted, it was the Marlins, and the fact that they traded 4 people who I don't even know who the hell they are, but you know it's the Marlins, so they find a way to just screw everything up. But I mean, I think you're gonna have to look all around. It's gonna be a name that we're not even thinking of. Hopefully, somebody really good.
We're wanting blockbuster moves. We're not going to get blockbuster moves, but I do think that we are going to get an arm or two in the bullpen that are going to be somewhat average to below average arms. I'm just telling you what most likely is going to happen. Yeah. And you know they are extra arms. They're not going to be game changers. They're not blockbuster guys, but that's what's going to happen.
My mom says Howie needs to teach Dombrowski how to do the impossible.
I couldn't agree more. I don't think
that is getting the whole entire roster to rework their contracts.
We're going to find a way. In that case, we're going to find a way to get Mike Trout, Julio Rodriguez, Mason Miller. We're going to somehow have like 3 first-round picks next year. That's what Howie does.
I'm just saying, in MLB The Show, I got Corbin Burns, Juan Soto, and traded for Mason Miller just for Alec Boehm. I make things happen, man. Like, and by the way, didn't cost $700 and something million to get Soto. He settled for $360. And I traded his ass to the Pirates.
As you should.
I'm just kidding. But I really don't know what moves, who would leave. Of course, Castellanos and Bryson Stott both struck out.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's just the more I think about it, I'm like, damn, man. Like, what fixes the team? What's not a Band-Aid in this situation? You know, you need too much. Like Bryson Stott is not the Bryson Stott we had 2 years ago.
No,
I don't know what's going on. I think my friend, it was I don't know. Somebody said, like, would you go after Adley Rutschman? He's having a terrible year. And I'm like, well,
That whole
Kevin
team
Long is
is
so
terrible
damn
right now.
Yeah, Kevin Long is so good, though. Trade for him, and Kevin Long will fix him.
Trade for Kimbrel back.
He's a free agent. Isn't he free? I think the
wait,
Braves
yeah,
just-
you're right. The
Braves just DFA'd him.
They
Why
they
not,
really
man?
brought him in. They brought him up for one game to get the strikeout. Yeah, you're right.
That's terrible. I thought it was going to be like a retirement thing, and they were like, "Nah, get out. Thanks for the help. Get out." What's Rutschman hitting? He's hitting 227 this year with 7 home runs and 18 RBIs.
Yeah, well, that whole team stinks. I don't know what happened to them at all.
Well, Jordan Westberg is back today, so he's going to fix everything.
Yeah.
But really, like, if you look at the issues that we have, like, we need bullpen. I doubt they trade for a starting pitcher.
No, they don't need. The only way I see them doing like a blockbuster move is if they trade Ranger in it.
I think it's going to be Ranger or Abel. It's going to be your starting.
Or
Ranger makes sense. I'd hate to see him go, but he's the one that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're going out to make a blockbuster deal, he's got to go. He's got to be part of it.
I mean,
I think,
unless you're,
we keep going heavy on the relief pitcher thing, but I mean, I think more helpful would be a fielder and bat.
I agree.
Whether it's in the outfield or third base or whatever.
And you know what?
Have you?
They should have pulled the trigger last year on Brett Rooker. Or was it the year? Or was it last year? Right? They should have pulled it.
He was here,
and he had 4 home runs.
Yeah, they kept saying trade for him so he can just walk across the field into our dugout.
They should have just pulled the trigger and traded for him.
Well,
like,
and
hey, don't pack your bags, buddy. You're staying here.
Yeah.
And then everyone, was all ecstatic when Mason Miller took the Phillies plane with Harper and whatnot.
Well, Soto did the same thing.
I know. I'm just saying. It was well, Brent Rooker signed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't he?
I think he did sign.
I think he's got a kind of a cheap contract too.
Like $70 million or something?
It was 5 years, $60 million.
Okay, yeah.
But he'll only be 35. Harper and
why not? Add to the 30 club.
Still be here. Harper and Trey will still be here.
That's what we signed him for.
I know. So Trey Turner can be our 41-year-old DH, stealing 3 bags a year. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that it's going to be they're going to have to go after fielding. I think I really wouldn't be surprised if they consider sending Marsh down. If they can trade for an outfielder, I think they would send Marsh down. If he keeps hitting he's not hitting. He's still not. He was all right when he came back from the IL, but
no,
he's not the answer. Not what you should have given up Logan O'Hoppe for. But again, you can't forecast.
You didn't know that was going to happen.
You can't forecast what's going to happen with JT.
No.
I also doubt that the Phillies call up Crawford this year. I don't think they're going to rush him. But, I mean, that sets you back really like maybe a year or so. If you're going to go bring up Crawford, you have to figure out what you're doing with Aiden Miller because he plays shortstop, and that's all he's played this year in the minors, is shortstop. So you need to figure that out. I doubt you're moving Stott out of second base. I doubt they're trading him. But I hate to bring him up. It really makes me think that, I wonder if they're going to learn a lesson from Scott Kingery. You're going to hold on to somebody and hope too long that he's going to work out.
Yeah, that gives me PTSD.
So Stott, Ranger.
I'm not even going to tell you to look at the TV.
Home run.
Don't even look.
Taiwan Walker's in, home run. There we go. Jesus.
Sorry.
It's okay. I haven't seen it yet.
All right. I'm shutting it off. My phone lit up and then that. And I'm like, oh, God, here we go.
In all fairness, though, that was quite a rip on an inside pitch.
Yeah, it was.
The Michael Busch one was absolutely crushed. But yeah, I feel like we're gonna constantly be monitoring the trade deadline rumors coming up soon because it's starting now. So, to be honest, that was all I kind of had. I'm taking it easy tonight just to bitch and moan about the Phillies.
Yeah, I mean,
Scott's tired. Rye, you're getting ready for a wedding, so I don't want to go too heavy on you guys.
go heavy during the deadline when the Phillies trade for a minor leaguer and he's our closer.
Yeah, why do you think I'm wearing Eagles gear?
I know. I figure you're ready. That's it. You're ready for Eagle season.
I'm ready. I'm ready for good news. Guess what? The Eagles bring you good news.
How about because Derek and all, which Rye, if you want, I can add you. I can try and add you to the group chat of everybody on the network.
Yeah,
if you want to be added to it. But how about Sanders already being told he's going to be the starting quarterback?
I don't know if that's actually true.
Dude, if it is, I'm like,
it's July, it's June.
Screw it. Well, he wasn't drafted, so they're early enough, so they're trying to make it up to him.
Do either of you guys do Dynasty Fantasy?
I'm starting one this year, actually.
So I've never done it prior to this year, and I got asked to join 2 different Dynasty leagues. And the one that I had, I kept waiting on it, and then literally the one, it was like, I don't know, it was like round like 12 or something like that. I'm like, dude, you know what? Maybe I take a flyer on Sanders, and somebody 2 picks before me picked him. And I'm not saying like, anything can come from it, but he is a player that has a name. And ever since being drafted, at least the Browns media network are really selling him high, or he really is doing exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's only time will tell.
I
just saw it, and I was like, man, like, doesn't he even have to earn it? You're just giving it to him. But again, I mean, I think that's
nobody's there. Nobody there has the job.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, but you look at the roster, and it's just like, well, yeah. So, and is Watson's still out, isn't he?
Yeah.
Not that he's the answer. I mean, So. But yeah, that was all I had for tonight, guys.
A bunch of venting tonight.
Yeah,
venting. Yeah, we're I'm gonna still keep putting in my application for the Phillies. Go work. So.
We're still in a good spot.
We are. We're only 4 games back. We I mean, God, 07 we came back from that in the last 2 weeks.
7
worse
out.
Than that. Yeah, and it was against the Mets. Just saying.
Yes.
And they had it was Billy Wagner too. I'll never forget that. 4-game series.
His curveball was something else.
I loved his rivalry with Pat Burrell. That was something else. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for hanging out. See you. Well, Scott, I'll see you next week. Rye.
Yes.
50-50. Yeah.
50-50. I get it.
Yeah. Got a wedding that week.
Details, You get it. But if I don't talk to you, enjoy your wedding. I'm sure
enjoy.
But you know what I mean.
Definitely have drinks for you. So.
Yeah. There you go. Thanks. All right. Have a good night.
Later.
See you guys.
Go Phils.
Go Phils.
Go Birds.